But you know, I
So before you were paying for leads, how many different lead sources did you have at the time? Was it just one? Was it a handful?
I had two that were kind of like pay as you close, and I still kind of, get stuff from them. I've kind of had to turn them off on all honesty because I've had so much of my database and open house and diff other avenues, right?
Right, right, right.
But
Was
the
it
one
difficult to transition,
transition to
get out of like, see, so what I remember you saying was there was a moment in which you brought on those lead sources. You weren't having real good success. I think that's when I kind of came in, helped you with the action plan. That's when you kind of started to get the return on an investment. Luckily, you were able to get a return on an investment and be like, and then I guess you saw that it was just better for you to cultivate and to work your sphere and to kind of create your own
so
opportunities instead of
yeah, I did the 1 year where I paid a monthly fee for a certain type of lead. And like I said, I closed, I got a good return on investment, but then those kind of tapered off and I was like, okay, I got kind of scared because there was, nothing was really coming in anymore. But I was still paying, right? And
right.
then, but really when I stepped back and looked at what kind of deals I had, I'm like, I don't need that crutch anymore. I really
Mm,
don't. I'm honest with myself. I just need to focus. Sometimes we can get so caught up in doing this and doing that that we're not focusing on the core, where that money is, those deals are coming from. So
that's interesting that you say that.
I still did the other two, which I did use the action plans. Those are the ones that you pay only if you close them, right?
Right.
But this year I've kind of had moments, or I've had times, like a couple months at a time, where I've turned them off because I'm like, I'm not doing the lead justice. I'm not really doing the personal follow-up with them because I'm more focused on my sphere
Right.
and the deals that are coming out of that. Now I was nervous the first time I turned off, like, okay, what if they cut me off? But I'm like, I'm okay. I'm
Right.
really, when I look at my transactions and where they came from. So I track that. That's the important thing, I track that.
That
So I know,
analytics, yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, I really don't need that. I don't want to, totally stop it, but
Hmm.
uh, I really don't need that. I've just, again, I've built up my sphere, my database, year after year with people that know and like me and trust me.
And you said something
So
like the deals are different. So the ones that you're able to cultivate, I assume they treat you different opposed to ones that you're just meeting people off the street that through some lead source. Is that even the difference?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's like these two friends of the families, right?
Hmm.
That are now in my database, but I'm getting ready to list their house. They just called me up and said, "I want you." Like they didn't interview, they just knew they wanted me, right? Um,
Well, proof in the pudding, you know what I mean?
yeah, the other leads, sometimes they're just online searching at night and dreaming. Okay. They're just, they haven't even put they haven't even thought about it. They're just in a dreaming mode,
Yeah.
right? Or no,
Right.
but they're just not there. They don't
Mhm.
still, they don't answer the phone. They don't, or sometimes they give false names, so it's like, I go through of sending their contact information to Sparky. So that's a great thing. Sparky just like inputs them, right?
Mhm.
I got to go and send them out an action plan. Okay. It still takes a little bit of my time to set them up. And then I come to find out, oh, their number, and they're not opening any of my emails, or they're not answering my phone. They're not calling me back. And I'm just like, okay. I'm kind
Yeah,
of
right.
like, all right, yeah.
Makes it
So
difficult. Yeah.
no, it takes a little more time.
Hmm.
I've had some great I've met some great people through those lead systems too, that have sold and have actually referred me to other business. So
It's not that
um
it's not going to happen, right? It's
yeah,
because you still have a good approach. You still have a process to you. I mean, your templates are impeccable. Anybody that comes your way from regardless any lead source, you're gonna do them a solid. But on average, you get more riffraff than you do solid people, like from your list. The people that come from your own CRM and people that homegrown, they're like what you said. They call you up and they say, "Hey, we want you." You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not playing
I,
any games. You know what I mean?
I'm skipping over the introductory mode, right? I'm getting right down to business and showing them, and
Yeah.
demonstrating, with the leads, the leads from these online systems, I've got to, and I'm fine with that. I've got the email templates in place that I can easily talk to and speak to. Um, to win them over and stuff. But that's an extra layer of, thing. And again, I don't mind doing it. Love meeting new people, but
Hmm.
it's nice to work with my sphere because they know me and I love taking, I love taking care of them and doing an excellent
Yeah.
job.
I think
Um
that's the core of your service is really doing them, doing them a justice in the whole thing. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, this is a year where a lot of agents have struggled. I mean, it was,
Mm,
and
mm,
I have been very fortunate. My business is thriving.
right,
I might even top my COVID year, which was my biggest year.
wow,
And again, I'm not looking to be this top producer. I mean, yes, I like to know that I'm in the top within my office and we're a large office, but I'm all about having balance in my life too. I mean,
right,
I don't have a problem with working 40, 50 hours, but and I work and I'm striving to improve myself year after year and grow. But I like to spend time with my clients. I was at the meeting yesterday. I was there for almost 2 hours and it was great. You
right. There
know,
was no rush to do anything or to get in to get
it
out.
it was great. We had great conversation,
That's key.
and connected with them. So that was excellent. That's what I like. Okay. So everybody runs their business different, but I don't think that it, regardless of how you run your business, in my opinion, to have a CRM as your core, is important.
I remember I remember when teaching you the action plan. And
Mhm.
then we finally, like, I remember it took like about a week or two to kind of really kind of stage the action plan. And then you just went right into it. And I think I came back to the action plan. It started out with like 7, 8, 10 different activities. And then I blinked an eye and you already had it up to like 24. You just turned it into something crazy. But one thing that stuck with me when you said it was we were like about a month, 2 months into using it. And you were just like, I love the fact that I know my business is being worked on. People are getting action plans. I can follow it, right? But I'm getting to go to my daughter's events, my son's events. You're able to spend time, husband, like you were able to spend time with the family, yet maintain your business. And you're telling me that you're on track to make twice as much businesses from before based off of, just having the understanding of an action plan. And now you can use it in so many different areas in which you can give yourself your time back. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So to talk to that a little bit, first of all, I'll tell you, and I'm sure a lot of your people who are getting started in CRM might feel intimidated by it. It's a little intimidating to do, but once you sit yourself down, you just force yourself to sit down and do it. I actually had fun creating them, as you were kind of alluding to.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's like
Yeah,
I
you
had
were.
to sit down and you really kind of need to map out. Like I had to write out, okay, what do I want to tell? What do I want? You got to look at it, say, what do I want this prospective client to know about me?
Yep.
It, again, and this is the thing, you can pull resources that you already have out there. So I had some Canva documents
Yep.
you pulled from me. And then I created some YouTube videos, right? And, I kept them kind of
And
generic.
and
That's the
and how
thing you
much
gotta,
how much time and investment, like, because I remember you when we thought of it, you were like, oh crap, you know what I mean? And then you had it. And then it was like there. And then you were like, here, take a look at it. And I was like, oh my God, did you
well,
pay
yeah,
for this?
it was the thing. I just had to say, okay, I am sitting down. I am not getting up from this desk until I get this done.
Yeah.
And really, once I did it. It was so easy, but like I created these YouTube videos, got all dialed up, did this little, 1 minute
Little
spiel,
intro. Yeah.
intro so that, that was one of my emails. They got that. They got my electronic business card, right?
Yep.
They got some Canva documents like I had some of these Canva
Why work
documents of
with
like
you?
why work with me?
Yep.
How am I going to take care of you? Different things like that that they could see that would show value. I think I had a Canva document that had some of my, my testimonials, right? And then it said
Huge.
go to these sites and view more testimonies because people love testimonials. So
Yep.
and it's like once I was like, wow, I already have this stuff. I just need to create the little fluff of verbiage and then have that email or that document attached. It was easy. And then I was able to take that. So, at that time I had the one paid lead source that I was paying monthly, and then the two that
Right.
I was paying at closing, right? So I was able to take that and copy
Clone it.
it,
Yep.
clone it to the other two. Now, obviously, I had to go back through and change some wording, right?
Edit the stuff.
I had to redo some videos.
Yep.
Okay. But it was like a 17 touch over the course of like 2 weeks. And the thing is, okay, yeah, some people, and I did have to make phone calls. Okay. I did call them periodically. Okay.
But you put that in the action plan to set up
Exactly.
as an appointment. So it wasn't that you had to think of it. You just had to follow your calendar.
Okay. But another thing is there were some that just came back and said, no, I'm not looking, or I have an agent or something. They were like definite no's. You know what? I removed them from my database. I'm like, okay, good. But at least I know where they stood, right? They were
Yeah.
not a black hole.
Questions. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that
Silence.
was kind of the thing. I wanted to know, are you in? I mean, it doesn't mean that they had to be buying that moment. Okay. Like, are you looking in the future or is it an absolute no? If it's an absolute no, I don't need you clouding up my database, right?
Yep. You don't want to be barking up the wrong tree. That's for sure. Right.
Yeah, so and with yours, okay, I'm a nurturing, I'm not this highly salesy person, right? I
Hmm.
speak when I'm talking and I'm talking to my clients, I can give them examples of how I operate. I'm not salesy though, okay? But
Right.
you helped me kind of because of your background, you helped me put a little bit more of an edge on some of the emails to get them to respond.
You got to.
I needed that input, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Because just to give me a response, right? Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, and so yeah, I got some deals that I was able to weed out those that don't need to be in my database. I mean, some people might argue like, well, someday down the road they might want to buy a house. It's like, well, okay, but I can't get caught up. I want to focus on those that are going to be supportive of my business.
Where I've heard that before is in the ninja selling is and that's huge on their whole thing. That's like the core base of their
Don't
book
they
is
say, isn't there something on there
advocates, turning
like,
your past clients into advocates because
yeah,
those are the ones that take your business out. And I can even tell you, I've I've gone with other services based on what my friend has said or what somebody has said,
oh yeah,
right? Is like, oh, go to this mechanic shop and they'll do you right, right? It's because they took their vehicle, it got done, and they're still driving it. They have, you know what I mean? And it's that thing that really could flip your business. And that
yeah.
and I feel that you achieved that. You know what I mean? Because you started to focus, disposition, you know what I mean? And what I mean by disposition, categorize your leads, know who they are, and then we started, pumping out some material, doing some touches here and there, which brought back some fruit, which I really think that's what kind of lit a fire for you was you started seeing some of this work right in front of you. You know what I mean? So now it's just like, how can I get this to do this some consistent? And I think you've really kind of like found that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and I feel like before that, and I see other agents too, that when business slows, they're frantic, right?
Yeah.
And they're all of a sudden like, oh, I need to do this, and like it's not. the core of their business is not organized. They don't have that core to go back to the CRM. And, I do that. I just sit down on my computer. Okay, I feel like saying, I'm gonna put this email together and I send it off. It can be done in a half an hour and I can, reach out to people and, will create conversation. So, again, a CRM is not the magic wand and it's going to turn your business around in a month, but it gives you that core foundation to consistently grow your business year after year. You get new people that clients that you close a transaction with, they stay in your database. You stay touching them from time to time. Whatever works for you as an agent,
Mhm.
that's what you're going to do, right? Everybody's, is a little different, but you're going to be in the forefront and they're going to see those professional emails come from you and they're going to be reminded of how you were and how you communicated professionally because maybe you had email templates like I do that take you through each phase of the transaction and communicate and educate through that process so that it's a smooth transaction. I mean, I will say that and I'm confident in it when I say to my potential buyers or sellers that my transactions run smoothly because I have the system in place, to walk you through the process. It will lessen the stress and you will understand and what we're doing.